Hello everybody, welcome back to some Shogun 2, Apex here. Today we've got a nice 2v2 siege. In the black and red, of course, you have me. I've got my army kind of stationed about, mostly guarding the left and center here. I've got my bodyguard up front and center to skirmish. Bow warrior monks, my daikyu, of course, I love those guys, and some sporadic extra men. I've got katana samurai, lone swords. I believe there's some bulletproof samurai in here and some Yari Ashigaru on the flank, just to, watch out and be careful. Oh, I got some long Yari Ashigaru too, one of the best units in the game in my opinion. Real quick, my general's bodyguard already engaging their fire rockets. I saw my opponent brought these in. I started with the shinobi informer so I could see what they were doing. Saw their fire rockets, moved my general just to try and skirm it immediately, kill as many as I could. That's going to be very devastating if they can get it up on like here and just fire directly into the fort. So my ally, mostly an Ashigaru army. He was a newer player. We've got Bow Ashigaru everywhere, Yari Ashigaru, lots of Yari Ashigaru, some lone swords, which are a pretty good unit. Bow Ashigaru, yeah, just all over the place. I believe he's got some katana in the back. Yeah, he's got some katana for reserves. He's kind of spread out all around the fort. I'm more of the flex force, going to go where is needed to kind of plug defenses and provide skirmishing support with my bows. Now, over here in the teal, we've got an army who's a lot of archers and katanas. Now, the plan is probably, from his perspective, from what I saw in deployment phase, he's going to provide skirmisher support to try and force our guys off the initial walls and then rush with a ton of katanas. If those get onto the walls, all of our skirms are dead, and we brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8, probably at least a third of our units are going to just instantly die if those things get on the walls quickly. So that seemed to be his plan, and he was rushing up pretty fast. He brought sword attendants too, which are a fairly good just fodder unit to absorb damage and get onto the walls first and start clearing out the opponents. Yeah, they're not that great and there's not very many of them, but 100 sword attendants will still absolutely destroy Bow Ashigaru. My opponent on this side deployed all the way down here for some reason, started marching up in column order, and he deployed a metric fuck ton of red bears and spear levy. Now this army, we didn't have to worry about right away. He deployed down the hill. He's going to rush us from the looks of his army, so we kind of focused all of our fire over here. As you can see, I've got the Bow Warrior Monks already opening fire. The issue is, he's got Bow Warrior Monks too. He's got good range. He can shoot a lot of our units before we can do anything about it. Only my Bow Warrior Monks and the daikyu, which I've kind of reserved in the back, actually can do anything. So the front gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. You can see we're already pulling our soldiers back as he's rushing the walls over here. And because we are worrying about him right now, and he deployed so far back, we don't have to worry about it. I mean, we are already 3 minutes and 20 seconds into this fight, and he is just now reaching the deployment zone of where he normally would be. So it's still going to be another minute or two before he's really actually able to pressure anything. But just in case, we've got my daikyu over here, some lone swords, and some Yari Ashigaru. Now, if you have gun units, this is a pretty good flank to attack on, because as you can see, this entire hill overlooks this courtyard. You put 1 or 2 units here, they'll shoot anything that's up here. It basically just forces the opponents off of this entire area. You actually have the better position here, just because of the hill. Oh, and as you can see, they just disappeared, but opponent brought his fire rockets up here, and he's raining fire. This is why, this is a very advantageous position for artillery. You basically have a view of the entire fort. The only places you can't really threaten is back here and right behind. As you can see, we kind of clumped everything up right here, just to avoid the fire rockets just destroying it completely. As you can see, the daikyu opening fire already. An amazing unit. I love my daikyu. Now, they're expensive, and there's something to be said about bringing a unit that's expensive into the fight, but in my opinion, they show results, especially when they're tiered up. I mean, look at the absolute range of these things, opening up on 2 units of Bokachi well before the Bokachi can even shoot, and just absolutely tearing them apart. I mean, they've got crazy accuracy and everything. As you can see, my opponent pushed up on this side. We brought some lone swords in and just shredding the katana samurais that pushing up the walls. But he's basically overran this entire segment, so we have no forces down here anymore, and he's already pushing up. We're bringing all of our archers back, and we're getting some Yari in here just to block that advance. Meanwhile, the opponent over here, yep, as you can see, lining his guys up on here, just trying to get shots off on the lone swords. If he can force these back up, there's really nothing that's going to contest down here except missile units shooting from above. As you can see, his bow units are, you know, he pulled this one back. This one's already shattered. And look at the amount of damage the Daikyu are putting up over here. Now, this is tier 6 Daikyu. I believe I've got them up to like tier 8 since this fight took place. It's been a while. But absolutely amazing unit. I'm just shredding. Look at that. They've got insane accuracy, insane reload speed, and I've got the ammo upgrade on them, I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, they're starting to take fire. But the Daikyu, honestly, it's not that bad for the Daikyu. They're pretty far away. Plus, I've got the fort defense, which blocks some bullets. I keep them here. Only lost 5 guys in the opening volley. I figure I can probably trade with these Red Bear. 2 units of Red Bear. I could probably kill them both before losing my unit, but I take some pretty heavy damage. And with the extra forces from the katana starting to push up pretty heavily over here, I'm going to decide to pull these back. And our opponent burns this gate down, and he's going to start pushing up. Now, our big issue at this point is a lot of these units are already committed from Teal here. They're already into melee. His katanas, they've been getting shot at a while. Most of his melee is gone. And as you can see, balance of power is still, 2 to 3 or 2 to 1 their favor. So we're in a rough situation. That's mostly because the sheer number, there's a ton hiding here, I'm pretty sure as well. The sheer number of troops he has, plus a lot of bows here, and he brought those bow monks. And the only thing that really contests my veteraned up archers is his bow monks. So they're going to be able to put a lot of damage up here, and I don't want to push them in and risk losing them this early. They've got plenty of ammo left. I don't want to get them into a fight with things that can deal some pretty nasty damage. So they pretty much got free range, and they're absolutely mowing down our men here. So we're going to start pulling back, but not before I bring my Daikyu right up to the walls. And if this, guys, you didn't know, if you're fighting gunpowder units on the ground, don't put your archers on the wall. Yes, they get, I believe a reload speed bonus when they're sitting on the walls. They fire a lot faster, but they can't even shoot me. He's forced to go forwards, and my archers, most of them at least, are getting all of their shots down still, just because archers have that curve, they don't shoot in a straight line. And I'm just absolutely messing up. That's another Red Bear gone. At this point, my Daikyu probably have well over, 300 kills in this match already, and they've only taken 30 casualties, and that was mostly from these units down here, which they wiped. No, I push my Lone Swords out. I figure, hey, Lone Swords, all he's got is Spear Levy, an injured Red Bear, and a mostly good Red Bear. My Lone Swords, honestly, they're veteraned up. They could probably take this. Plus, these Katana were coming in, and I knew Katana would mess these guys up bad. But, Red Bear's not built for melee, so why not throw them in? I route off the Spear Levy. These guys take huge casualties, and then I pour into here before they're able to get shots off. And look how many men just start dropping in this unit already. The Lone Sword's really such a good, fodder unit. It deals great damage and is pretty cheap. Even when ranked up, it's pretty good. I mean, ranked up this much, he costs as much as Katana. But, as you can see over here, he's got 40 more men than Katana. So that alone puts it better, in my opinion. But I believe Katana do have a lot better armor. So the Katana's probably going to stay in the fight longer, but these guys are going to dish out more damage faster. But against infantry that's not meant to fight in melee, I'll gladly take the extra damage rather than the armor. We've cleared off all these katanas. As you can see, Teal here's basically got no melee left at this point. Actually, I don't think it's basically no melee. There is no melee for the Teal. It is a ton of archers and the bodyguard. Now, White over here, he's still a threat. And as you can see, balance of power is still in their favor. And why is that? Well, it's because White's got like 6 uncommitted Red Bear infantry. That's a lot of guns. That's like 1,200 men right there. Plus a bunch of Spear Levy. And yeah, they're not the greatest, but they're fodder units. They'll absorb our fire while the Red Bear's shooting. As you can see, my Lone Swords, they did end up chewing through all that with a little bit of help from Ziyari. But at this point, yeah, they're gone. These Red Bear just chewed them up. But, 200 plus kills probably on those Lone Swords right there. That was an amazing fight for them. And our archers at this point, we're not looking too good. We're very low on ammo. I think all that's really left with ammo are some of the bow Ashigaru over here. And, that's pretty risky for us because bow Ashigaru, not the greatest unit. Now, they'll outrange Red Bear. They'll force the Red Bear to come to us, but it's not that good. Now, the Daikyu, I got my bow warrior monks over here. They're doing everything they can. These guys I brought down here, these bow warrior monks are out of ammo at this point. They're no longer useful to be on the walls. Let's get them down here. When they push up, they can get in melee. Hold them as long as they can. allow more and more men to get damage in. We can see the AI of Shogun is always great with that pathfinding. For some reason, they walked off the walls. Just gotta love it. But all of these bows are just pouring fire into here. But, you know, double purpose for these bow warrior monks. They're spread out. It's going to be fairly hard to hit. They're going to absorb a ton of archer fire that's not going to go to my units that actually matter. They're already out of ammo too. They're going to get screwed in melee. Their only job is to absorb ammo and slow down the enemy assault. And they're doing that perfectly. If you guys are in this situation, pushing up, these units, just take a look. They're not firing at you. Don't waste your ammo on the bow warrior monks. Honestly, don't waste your ammo on the bow ashigaru. Aim for the high priority targets. Aim for the bow monks with ammo left. Aim for the daikyu with ammo left. Or go back, hit the katana samurai. Sneak some units around, get into our back. Get this massive clump, you know, the bulletproof samurai, the long ashigaru, it's like katana. Extremely valuable clump right here if you got some archers back here. Especially his bow monks definitely would have the range to shoot all the way up to here. Or try and snipe some bodyguards. But the opponent, our opponent in white here, he's going to bring up more of his reserve forces. And this is pretty much all that he's got left when you think. So, alright, we've got a lot of routed units, a lot of missiles with, you know, no ammo left whatsoever. We have to hold against this horde. Now, those spears are going to shred our ranged units in melee. But, you know, again, they're still shooting these guys for some reason. Seriously, guys. You can tell that these are not shooting back, and bow monks are garbage in melee. Just don't bother wasting ammo on these guys. Go shoot, you know, targets with, you know, some kind of value at this point in the fight. It's just not worth it. Oh, and as you can see, my opponent here, Teal, bringing some archers probably over to around here just to see if he can shoot some. It's always amazing to do. Try to get around their flanks, shoot their high priority stuff. Don't waste your ammo like this. The red bear's pouring up these steps now. Yeah, as you can see, bow warrior monks absolutely shredded in melee, even by a non-melee unit that's being, you know, under sustained fire from other bow monks. Just going crazy. Now they're kind of pouring everything in. This is their big last push. So we bring everything forward. My general still got some ammo, but I had to bring him back just to be safe. Bow warrior monks, I think, are finally out of ammo. Yep, as well as the daikyu. So we've got no ammo left, except I think on this archer unit, all the way over here, which are dealing with these bowmen, or these cabin. And I believe my my ally, we actually forget about this bow unit. And that's pretty much the rest of our skirms, pretty much. I think these guys are going to run out of ammo anytime soon. At this point, it's, okay, they're going to push up. They have ammo. We have basically no ammo besides my general, who's a skirmish general, and a bow unit on the other side of the map that we never bring up because we forget about. If they manage to get up onto the walls, using that spear levy to make some space up here, they line up, they're going to tear into all of this, and it's going to be a very close fight. As you can see, it's, you know, still in their favor slightly. It hasn't even come even yet. Our advantage is we've got these walls, but they still have so many skirms. But Shogun 2 siege battles, you've got that 20-minute timer. They've got 6 minutes left to push all of this out, and they're going to have to act now if they want any of that to happen. Yeah, as you can see, Teal here, amazing job hitting the massive clump of high value targets. These things are going to be absolutely devastating if they get into melee with any of these. So he's prioritizing all of that firepower on that. So I noticed it. We split our forces up just to try and mitigate any more damage down here. And our opponents kind of begin the final assault with their spear levy. Now what I would have done here is, they can see we've barely been firing back, almost nothing. I would have lined everything up here, gotten ready for one big push at once. As you can see, he's got uncommitted red bear there that haven't seen action. He's got red bear over here that haven't seen action. More spear levy to bring up. Another red bear that hasn't seen action. Another one that hasn't... You know, he's got like 5 red bear that haven't seen any fighting. Plus some spear levy that have rallied. He should get everything ready for one final push. Not just kind of stream his units in one at a time, which is kind of what he does. But the push begins. He brings everything up, starts pushing up the walls. Spear levy going crazy. As you can see, the bow monks charge into the spear levy. And yeah, we got that charge bonus, which gets some nice kills, but we're not going to last very long. We get the daikyu in there as well. And my opponent down here, somehow, I think, he ends up firing up the walls at some of our guys who are kind of peeking right over the sides. But as you can see, he's doing it. I don't know if he manages to get any kills, but that's a pretty cheeky move. You know, draw the defenders to fight on the wall with a shit unit, and then use your gun infantry to fire up into the cracks it's going to get some good damage, especially because we're forcing him on the walls. We're not giving him the space to get his infantry up here to line up and fire properly. But kind of holding him in the gate here. He's bringing more and more in, but we've kind of killed off his initial units. And there's nothing left he can do. We still don't have balance of power, if that tells you anything about how many units he has and how dangerous gun units are, especially. Now, the Bulletproof Samurai, if you guys didn't know, they have a chance to... Where do they end up going? Where did I put my Bulletproof? Oh, right here. These guys, if you didn't know, they have a chance to resist matchlock fire. But it's not phrased very well because it says bulletproof, right? So you think bullets. No, these don't do anything against these units. They will completely destroy them. There is no chance to resist the damage. It is only against matchlocks. So they're, you know, otherwise than that, they're just a very tanky Yari samurai, basically, if they're not fighting matchlocks. So, you know, you can't just charge them at a line of red bear and expect it to go well. They're going to take a ton of damage. Our opponent's kind of streaming everything up in at this point. We got a minute 20 left. With the amount of melee up in here, there's no chance for that. But, you know, if they had, you know, 5-10 extra minutes, balance of power is still even. We're out of ammo. They've still got ammo. You know, they could do something here. They got a little bit of melee left. You know, it wouldn't be over for them. But with a 40 seconds on the clock, they stream everything in, and we're just holding them up here. We have way too much melee for them to really do anything about. But, you know, Shogun battles, if it wasn't for this timer, they could have done something better, played a lot slower. Or, if I would have said, they probably should have coordinated their attacks a lot better. We were able to put a lot of our skirmishers here, destroy a lot of his infantry, and then bring our skirmisher attention over here. If they attacked at the same time, this probably would have gotten much differently. So please, guys, coordinate with your teammates if you're in a 2v2. If you attack piecemeal or even just delayed, if you allow any time for your opponents to fully focus on one army, it's bad. It's real bad. As you can see, I brought a pretty highly elite corps, only 1,100 men. I think I only brought like 6 or 7 units, and half of them were archers. Lost 430, killed 2,300. My ally here lost 13, killed 1,100. My opponents did pretty well as well. Fishy, at least. I think he was the one in teal. 1,200 kills. That was pretty good. He got a lot of damage in. Unfortunately for an 1874 Vanguard Severing City car, the vehicle, most of his units just got outscarmed because we were able to fully focus our attention on him. If you look in the unit statistics, Daikyu, this is why I love him. You know, amazing unit here. 926 XP earned for this battle. Deployed 120, lost 56, and they ended up going in melee at the end, and that's where most of those deaths came from, I think. 740 kills. This is why I love Daikyu. Yes, they're expensive as hell, but if you use them right, and especially in a siege, you're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of kills with them. The bow monks did extremely well as well. 700, 300 kills. Lone Sword, yeah, this is that unit I charged out, 237 kills. This is why I love Lone Sword. Just got to rank him up a few times because they will rout and die pretty fast if you don't. Spend some time leveling them up. Bodyguard, 150 kills as a skirming for the Bodyguard. Pretty good. Yari Ashigaru, pretty good. Bulletproof Samurai, only committed at the very end. Kill some routing units. And I still have my uncommitted long Yari Ashigaru. My opponent here with the fire rockets, 290 kills on the fire rockets. Very good. I think he had some issues at the beginning with getting them set up. If he waited it, played his fire rockets a little bit better, he definitely could have hit us when we had clumped our troops, but still very good. Bow Warrior Monks, 250, very good. A lot of his archers, see, all of that skirming did a serious amount of damage on us. It's very scary. His Katana Samurai, unfortunately, they were, you know, we just bogged it down. They got decent kills, you know, fighting some of our Ashigaru, but it just got bogged down with stuff and then just absolutely obliterated by missile fire. So you can see some never even managed to get any kills. They were completely routed before they got into the fight. My ally here, decent number of kills. Lone Swords, of course, on top. Great unit right here. Very cost effective. A lot of Bow Ashigaru. Even they did pretty good. All around, he had a pretty balanced army. Some of his units uncommitted as well. But very good job here. Very good job from our opponents as well here. And very good job from this opponent as well. The issue with him is he ran out of time. If he had the time, you know, if it was a field battle, there wasn't a 20-minute timer, This would have been a devastating army to fight against. Spear Levy to deal with any cab, plug gaps, just throw into the enemy to delay them. And a ton of gunfire. This is a devastating army. You know, he was just screwed on time. You know, he was forced to send Red Bear charging into a volley of missile just to get up a wall, just because there was 4 minutes left on a timer, and he was forced to send them into, you know, into a ton of missiles and a ton of infantry. Again, yeah, if they timing. It's a good army. He did good. Just timing was not his friend. Should have coordinated his strike, spawned up at the top. I don't know why he spawned so far away. But very good job to everybody. It was a pretty good fight. How much XP did we get? Tons and tons of XP on this fight. Even on the opponents. Look at that. 2,400. 2,000 XP. That is insane. Seriously, holy crap. Yeah, a lot of the units on every side did very, very good. Tons of XP going across the board. A lot of kills. You know, of course, on attack, you're expecting each unit on average probably to get less kills. So it's still crazy that they got hundreds on some of their units. On defense, you know, of course, you expect probably more kills on defense. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.